Good morning, gamers. Hello. Speeding in Final Fantasy XIV has a problem. Aside from the fact that the act of speeding in and of itself is against terms of service, there are some other elephants in the room with regards to speeds that I'd like to discuss. So let's quit beating around the bush and talk about log dumping and why I believe it's one of the major problems with competitive speedrunning in Final Fantasy XIV. Log dumping, for those who may not know, is hiding a log or a group of logs from the public until the very last day before a new major patch releases. For example, we're currently in patch 6.2, so if you were to hold on to all of your logs for this tier and not upload them until the day before patch 6.3 launches, that would be one form of log dumping. Now, I'm not oblivious. There are obvious benefits to this, such as hiding rotations and MIP plans from other teams. And these are serious competitive advantages for speed teams, and they take a lot of iteration and trial and error to perfect and improve upon, so I don't blame teams for wanting to keep these proprietary. However, these few examples aren't the reason why I believe log dumping is unhealthy for the competitive scene. And I completely agree that hiding these things is something that teams should be able to choose whether or not they want to do. My problem more so lies in the fact that log dumping stifles competition and interest in speeds, and let me explain why. One of the major things that makes the Race to World First so interesting for progression is that there's a live leaderboard. And this is something that FFLogs has recently implemented in a very user-friendly way by adding the World Race tab to the front page, and then once the race is over, taking it a step further and adding a race summary tab. And something that teams competing in the World Race can do with this feature is choose whether or not they want to hide their log and the information contained within them. But they can still show that they killed the boss and show up on the leaderboards. So why isn't there something like this for speedrunning in FFLogs? How cool would it be to have a Savage Speeds tab or a Competitive Speeds tab on the front page of FFLogs that allowed teams to upload speed kills and have it displayed in a similar format to the World First race? Teams could still choose whether or not they wanted to see the actual details contained within the log, and if they chose not to, it could just show the team's name and the kill time. And furthermore, to prevent log dumping, logs could be required to be uploaded within some set amount of time since the recording of the kill, and it could be like a 1 to 2 week grace period. So for example, if you got like a 6-minute P5S run and you chose not to upload it within the 1 to 2 week time period, that log would become invalid and would not get added to the speeds leaderboard. I believe this would incentivize a lot more competition within the speeds community, and it may even incentivize smaller or newer teams to compete throughout the tier. And if FFLogs wanted to take it a step further, speeding could have a season in FFLogs that starts some arbitrary couple weeks after the tier's been cleared. Let's say like 6 weeks after the tier's been cleared, so enough people have had time to get best in slot. So when a new raid tier drops, you have the World First race dominating the front page for the first few weeks, and once people start getting close to best in slot, you now get a speeds tab on the front page in addition to the race summary to check out and keep up with throughout the rest of the tier. Like, how cool would that be to have seasons for speeding, with the new raid tiers and the even patches being the main season, and then you can have an off season with the odd patches? Or even if you wanted to do something cool in the off season for the odd patches, you could do some kind of like mini game where people do non-standard comps or something, and having some sort of live leaderboard that people can check in on throughout the tier of like, okay, we got beat on this fight, let's go back in, smash out that fight and try to beat it by a second. Again, all of this would stimulate competition within the speedrunning community and hopefully shed some light to new players who may be interested in getting involved in speeds. Competition is vital to improvement. I'm a firm believer in this. And if you've been around my channel long enough or you know me, I love helping people and I love seeing people improve. And in my personal opinion, this is one way I believe we can increase the amount of competition within the speeds community and get more people interested and involved in this form of in-game content. Anyways, those are just some things that have been sitting in my head for a while now. We started recently practicing some speed stuff for this tier, and it's just something that keeps I totally understand the want and need to log dump with how our current system works, but I genuinely believe the solution I'm offering would help promote a healthier competitive speed scene in Final Fantasy XIV, and I really hope this video helps get some traction for a change. I'd love to hear your feedback on my thoughts, so please use the like or dislike button as you please, and feel free to leave a comment below with any suggestions you may have. And if you are someone who's interested in learning more about speedrunning, feel free to drop by one of my Twitch streams. My schedule on my Twitch page is now updated to our current speed schedule. Or you can join my Discord server and come chat and hang out and see pictures of this chicken nugget back here. Thank you so much for watching my video and have a great day. Goodbye.